Hi everybody and welcome to Pulsechain. It's going to be all on in this video. I'm getting excited about it. I mean, it really is going to be epically huge. So I hope you guys enjoy it too, because it's going to be one of the, I think, probably not one of the mega opportunity in the year ahead to make super gains. Super gains. We're talking, I don't know, 10x, 100x, 1000x, 10,000x. Really is got huge upside potential. And the market will decide ultimately. But wow, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a fork of Ethereum. Pulsechain is going to be a fork of Ethereum. And it's going to be different. There have been other forks of Ethereum, and those are all priced up in the dollars, so they're all doing very well. Obviously, we just had a bull run, had a significant pullback, obviously about 40-50%, but it's looking amazing. So certainly huge upside potential. Also, it's going to be price discovery. It's going to get priced up from zero pretty much. But what's the big difference? They're going to copy over all the Ethereum tokens as well over into the Pulsechain. Very exciting. There'll be a few missing out, but other than that, it's going to be a huge opportunity for everybody in crypto land, and that's what this video is about, the open opportunity in crypto, and this is the big event for sure. Pulsechain, the biggest airdrop in history, they say, and I think that's pretty exciting, and that's why I'm covering it, because it's looking like it's going to be a heck of a ride. So what have we had today? We've had Richard Hart done another live stream. Now we've got two phases in the Pulsechain. First phase is the sacrifice phase, so that's well known. But if you're not familiar, sacrifice phase is where you probably go onto a website, nominate some tokens that you want to sacrifice, and in return you expect nothing. But ultimately, you're going to get something like Pulse tokens in return, and that will get priced up, and you're hoping to make big gains on that, foregoing your current tokens that you have and getting that upside. Now, it's all going to be denominated in US dollars, so your US dollar value is ultimately what counts. The higher, the better is probably going to be the way to go. But once again, you can only afford to risk what you're willing to lose, that sort of thing. You've got to keep that minded. You need to do your own due diligence, of course. It's not financial advice, but Pulsechain, it does offer that super opportunity in crypto, especially in this sort of quasi-bearish position that we've had at the moment, where we've had that big pullback from the big bull run. We don't know if it's completely over yet, but we're going to find out pretty soon, I would imagine, in the next week or two. But certainly we're still up at a quite nice level. Bitcoin's over 30,000, Ethereum's over 2,000, so it still looks quite positive from that point of view. So let's see where we are at the moment, and let's have a look at the update. So I'm just going to play Richard Hart's a couple little snippets from a live stream that Richard Hart did a couple hours ago. So let's get into that. Then we're going to move into Hex price, and the Hex position should be fun. Let's listen here now.
Update on Pulsechain development. Everything's going good. I mean, there's several people, and every one of them is working on a different part. So team lead is working really hard on the actual validator rotation code now, which is neat because it's single chain, whereas some other attempts at higher throughput ended up with multiple chains, which is a ton of extra attack surface. It's just unreliable in comparison to what we're doing from a systematic design perspective. One chain is easier to keep secure than two chains. And, front end dev to issue sacrifice addresses, to say which ones are valid. And then address generation. So some chains, this generation is going to happen client side based on xpub public key determinism. And then some chains, it's just going to issue out of database. So technical stuff you probably don't care about. What else? You guys that are wondering whether the devs are awesome or not, we've already had code accepted into Geth, which 90%, basically 100% of the miners use in Ethereum, and 90% of the total network consists of Geth nodes. We already have code from our team that's been accepted and committed into Geth and accepted by the Geth core team. So our devs are sick. They're just awesome. Really, really got good guys. What else? I mean, people reach out and, hey, I'm a dev. You got stuff? Maybe ethhex.com will be updated to Uniswap v3. That'd be kind of cool. We'll see. no expectation of work of others. That's how we do it in Hex. We never have expectation of profit from the work of others, or even work. Screw profit. We don't even have expectation of work. So all the time, new awesome things appear, like that code for encapsulated stakes, like staker.app, hex.vision. You know, the community generates amazing things. I saw that somebody paid to have hex.com advertisements on giant billboard trucks with giant LED billboards at the Bitcoin conference in Miami, which, by the way,
so as you can see, that's some of the key updates there. There was a little bit more about since the donation sacrifice play out, so that was in there as well. Now, obviously, the main stuff out of there is that the validator nodes are being worked on. You've got the sacrifice addresses still being populated, and so that's all work in progress, going pretty fast, as he says, and so that's all looking pretty good. So it does say also that Pulsechain later in the video is coming soon. So that's really neat. Obviously, we've had a few weeks delay from the original 7 days, but it is coming soon. So just keep the lookout for that. That could be any time. Now, one of the comments that he made, and I made this in my last video, is that market conditions aren't where he wants. He really would love to see a bounce in the price. You know, basically Bitcoin getting back in the 40s, but preferably even up into mid 50s to 55,000 US dollar range. Obviously, that bodes better for total value evaluation as well for the Pulsechain, and obviously a bigger reporting rights, as it were. So that's pretty interesting to look out for that. So we'll see what happens by the time he launches. That may be one of the reasons for slight delay in the sacrifice as well. But certainly they're pushing that part of it. So that's stage 1 of sacrifice. So that's still going well. Phase 2. Obviously is the mainnet, and I expect that to be about 2 weeks after the phase launch, the sacrifice phase. Now remember, the sacrifice phase at the current, what we know of the gamification at the moment, is that the first 7 days will be possibly volume rated, so the more US dollars will give you probably some sort of factor or proportionality better results in terms of getting pulse tokens. So the higher the US dollars in there, the better. Probably the earlier the better is probably the basic rule, but we're going to see when it finally comes out. There's obviously the second part of it was obviously to penalize the cost of getting Pulse 4.25%, then up to 3.3x by the time you add up all those days of 4.4% penalties on the cost. So you get less and less and less, basically. Really does reward getting in earlier and getting in more pays better as well in terms of Pulse. So that was some of the interesting stuff there. Hope you guys take that into account. So that's the first phase, and second phase, obviously mainnet, about probably, I estimate, 2 weeks afterwards. You don't want too long a gap. And I expect, actually, particularly for Hex price, obviously, you can sacrifice all sorts of ERC20s, but Hex is a special play. Obviously, Richard Hart is the founder of Hex, and you can see the price of Hex just keep moving up at the moment. Gets a bit of resistance at 6 cents, but keeps moving up. So let's check that out as well, and we'll have a look at that now. So I'm just going to move that, and let's share the screen. We're going to go to let's just change this out first. We're going to stop that one and share this one here. So we're going to do another screen, and let's go for gold. Boom. All right, so we're going to swap over to the price now. So this is the Hex price at the moment. This is on the daily candle. You can see that on the ETH pair, so ETH pair represents 20% of the Hex liquidity. So why are people choosing Hex in particular? Obviously, Richard's the founder, but also Richard's given examples, hypothetical ones, that maybe the sacrifice address is not going to sell its Hex that it gets, as opposed to all the other ERC20 tokens that get sacrificed, plus major coins like Bitcoin, etc. So that means that there'll be less Hex liquid on the market, and that means it supports the price. And also, if the sacrifice address holds that Hex before the snapshot date, if all the tokens get snapshot, whatever you've got in your wallet will get snapshotted, and that will be the day. And so basically, they'll get also the Pulse Hex as well, and that will be off the market. So liquidity on Hex will be way lower. Currently it's about 5%, give or take, and so that would get even smaller, and so then that would be pretty much a major fundamentals for Hex. So Hex fundamentals now is also is got that happening. So you've got that aspect, but it's also got the idea that the higher the price of Hex, the higher the US dollar value that you're putting into the sacrifice, which is going to give you more pulse ultimately. And so if everybody is buying Hex, they're pushing that use, everyone benefits from that global price pressure as the price gets bid up marginally by the next buyer, basically, because that's how marginal pricing works. It's just the last buyer keeps pushing that US price up there. Look what we've seen today. Now the liquidity is quite low, so you can actually get that. Once you get enough buyers, it really starts to move off, and as long as there's not too many sellers selling in, and that's what we currently see. So you see today is the daily chart on Hex. You can see the price actually spiked on the ETH pair, which is only 20% of the liquidity pool, so it's not the USD pair, so the chart will look slightly different on that one, is that it actually piped up to 8.23 cents, can you believe it? And that occurred because bots were either side of it. So bots, when someone's going to do like 2 ETH, like 80 ETH or something like that, will go either side. Let's go check that out actually. But first of all, we'll just look at this price pressure. You can see the upward trend continuing on. You can see the CCI index. You see this, the MACDs crossing over. This could be a major breakout here. The second one, we saw the first one back here on the 29th of April. We had a big run up, pull back, and now into a bull flag. And then basically now look at it's way up. It looks like it's about to break out. It does really look like that. We're seeing that candle, first candle today, and so it's also broken over. It was having resistance at 6 cents, so we'll see whether it can consolidate over all these previous day spikes and actually start moving up there. So today is pretty pivotal for that, and tomorrow, today and tomorrow. Also, we know that the Pulsechain is coming out soon. Certainly could be within the next 7 days, and what's going to happen is that, and this is very important, is that it's going to be launched on Richard Hart's YouTube channel. Okay, no other channels. Richard Hart is the one you must need to follow for the official announcement. No YouTubers, not like this channel, no other channel, just Richard Hart's official channels, and that's very important that you follow that. No, just go to the source. It's very important, and we're going to cover that topic later in the video. Live stream, so very important on that one. Let's just close out of here. Let's actually go back. So you can see the prices are 6.6 cents. I mean, it's remarkable. It's really amazing. It's up like 8x, not now, or 9x in the last little wee while. So pretty amazing. Let's just scroll back down. The rest of the market's kind of stalled, and the Hex is really climbing it. So let's go back down. Just want to show you that price pump to 8.2. I think it's on here somewhere. Let's have a look here. We'll go back down a bit further. So sometimes bots can manipulate the outcomes on here. So here we are. We're at 6.5 cents. So someone went and bid in. They probably had the gas was too low, and so they got beaten by the bot. So it was 6.5 cents. They probably thought they were buying at that price, but then a bot came in at 7.3 cents and sold, and then that pushed their buy price up to 8.2 cents. So obviously, I think the price is going to go way above that. But obviously, the cost, they thought they were getting a 6.5, went to 8.2. Then a bot came in, 71 ETH in this pool. And then they bought 7.3 afterwards, so back in. And then you can see the price went to 6.6. So the thin liquidity really making a difference there. You saw another bot here coming in as well at 6.6 cents. So getting a bit of that going on into the liquidity pool. And as we come up, but generally a lot of net buying going on. And you can actually see the bullish CCI commodities index, very bullish price action here at the top of the Bollinger Bands as well. The rolling day, the 100-day average is at 2.8 cents, and it's climbing. As you can see, it's slowly climbing. Obviously, the price action is way up there. We're expecting, like I say, in terms of price, probably expecting a 10 to 12 cents at least on the low side in a breakout. And it sounds dramatic, but that's, cryptocurrency, that's what happens. Pulsechain is a big deal. And so people are going to sacrifice that for the two benefits. One, because higher US dollar into the sacrifice, and two, because it looks like the sacrifice address will most likely not sell any of the Hex that it gets, and therefore taking Hex off the market and giving that liquidity even more of a squeeze. Obviously, there's stakes in Hex, and they will come out, and there's obviously a lot of come out. A lot of people seems to be in surveys look like they're going to stake that over time, because the interest is going to be so good and the price will be so good. They really, a lot of them won't see the need to actually sell their principal. Obviously, people have sold out a lot of the Hex, especially some OGs, and got became millionaires out of it. But it looks like in some of the surveys there, very high percentage saying that they're just going to stake and get the divs and live off the dividends. So some interesting stuff going ahead there in the future for Hex. So that's really the logic there. Now you can actually sacrifice any ERC20 token, of course, and into it, and get it eligible for the Pulse token when it comes out the other side. So very nice on that one. Now it looks like that phase is probably, at the current knowledge, is it's going to be 30 days with 1 or 2 days calibration afterwards, and so we're going to see how that goes after that. But when it officially comes out, it might actually be shorter. They might actually make the phase be weeks rather than 30 days. We'll wait and see what the final gamification is for the launch. So hopefully that's been some help for there. Let's have a quick look at Hex on nomics.com. You can see that Hex is currently rated number 8 on there, pretty awesome, and 37.5 billion is the market cap. Pretty awesome stuff there. And you can see that Ripple's just above it, Dogecoin, Cardano, Binance Coin, and then Ethereum and Bitcoin above that. So very cool indeed. Not far away from Ripple actually in the market cap there on Nomics. Now Nomics doesn't gatekeep Hex, so CoinGecko and particularly CoinMarketCap do gatekeep Hex, but Hex has continued to power ahead anyway, despite that. So awesome stuff there. Now Pulsechain is definitely going to open up a whole new economics. Imagine a whole Ethereum blockchain, but it's going to be 4 times faster throughput and super cheap fees in terms of Pulse fees. Super cheap. So that's really going to be a really nice enticer. Obviously, the Gwei price of Ethereum has come down to 10, 11, 12 Gwei recently. But once again, when the demand's on, what's going to happen to congestion then? There is a fork coming up as well, so we'll see whether that helps a lot with the gas fees. They're going to do some addressing there. So we'll see whether that does help. But the other side of it is the S-load figure is still, the S-load for staking tokens in any smart contracts is still a real problem. It's super expensive. So very big use case for Pulsechain. So pretty cool on that one. All right, let's just jump over to comments there. Alex K says, there was some also interesting tidbits about adding more liquidity to existing pairs to ensure people who pull user liquidity from the pair don't kill the pair. Absolutely. So that's really cool to see that. I probably should have played that part, but I didn't want to play the whole video. I will leave the link in the video description if you want to go check out the full video by Richard there. It's about an hour long or something, so you can check that out. It was streamed 4 hours ago. So that was the main highlights though around the Pulsechain. But definitely liquidity is going to be one of the big issues there as we go forward. So nice pick up there, Alex. All right, so let's go back to where we're up here on Hex. So that's where the Hex is, and so it's driving that stuff. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, let me just make sure that I've covered all that. So there's address generation basically is still being made. The validator rotation's being done, so that's for around the staking and confirming the blockchains and stuff like that. And then obviously Richard's just highlighting the fact that it's a single chain, and that's a real advantage over multi-chain uses, which has been done previously in forks, saying that basically the attack area is far lower, so much cleaner, simpler chain, especially when you're doing faster blocks, 4 times more throughput. So some interesting stuff there. Now, a big thing I wanted to say was that make sure that the scammers are everywhere. Scammers are everywhere, all over Pulse and Hex, targeting the community, trying to get your crypto. One, don't use your seed keys to sign on to any link that they give you, any platform. Don't enter any new product, because Hex is a finished product. Now there are something called encapsulated stakes that are being developed by the community, so there are the occasional extra programs being made, but really be careful out there. Make sure you go back to the official Telegram, and you got to go to the official Telegram, not a fake Telegram. So there could be fake social media, fake platforms, fake emails of people either asking you to send tokens to the sacrifice address, could be completely fake. right? They're just trying to get your crypto. Watch out for scammers. They're all over the place. I've seen a number of ones on Telegram. I've got people contacting me about showing me the scripts that people are sending them. So they're trying to fool you. No admin will contact you. No Richard Hart won't contact you. So if you see someone with Richard Hart's name, that's not Richard Hart. That's just someone willing to scam and take your valuable crypto. So really keep your guard on that. There's all sorts of things. So don't give your seed keys out. Don't send your crypto to it. Wait for Richard Hart's official announcement, and wait for the new platform that will be up there that you'll be able to sacrifice and get involved. We don't need to get scammed anymore. We've got to really shut down all these scammers around the world, and there's many of them. There's more of them. Crypto is such an easy target for that, especially all the new people into crypto, so really look after that. So that's my little speech on that one, and I thought that's pretty important. So very cool indeed. Hope you enjoyed this update on Pulsechain, and thanks Alex for adding in about that liquidity there. Yeah, there's also the Sense Foundation as well. There's a special program for that, and you probably have to email them to get involved with that side of the donation side of the sacrifice phase. So very nice indeed. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Feel free. We're going to do more updates on Pulsechain. I think it's a big opportunity for the crypto market, and I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I'll see you if you haven't watch Axion Auctions. We've got Axion Auctions at the end of the day, always to cover the live streams of those and do specialty topics. So do subscribe, like and share, hit the bell for notifications, and share this video, and hope you guys enjoyed that one. Cheers.